Hello and welcome to Playing Away, the show where we talk to members of staff, representatives and volunteers from upcoming clubs about our fixtures and games on the road. A little bit of a different format this week because I'm absolutely full of the lurgy, so I'm not going to make you look at me. So we're just going to do audio this week. I hope that's okay. We'll be back to regular programming next week. Let's just take some time to reflect on the last week. Boxing Day, record attendance, once again. 4,833 of you came down to Gig Lane to watch us beat Prestwich Hayes 2-0 with a brace from our skipper Tom Moore. What a day that was. We've seen plenty of pictures online of kids, grown-ups, mums, dads, brothers, sisters opening their berry shirts on Christmas Day. It was fantastic to see, and we hope you all had a brilliant festive season. Now, advance sales for the game on Saturday have now closed, but you still can pay on the day. Tickets will be £10, and you can pay by cash or card. So without further ado, I'll introduce today's guest, Alan Harrison, stadium announcer and former vice chairman of AFC Liverpool, and let's get to know a little bit more about their club. Alan, welcome to Playing Away. Can you introduce yourself and tell us about your role and how you became involved at AFC Liverpool?
I will do. Yes. Right. Well, at the moment, I'm the stadium announcer, but I'm also the club's only life member. Up until 2018, I was vice chairman, but I became quite poorly, but recovered. So I'm 100% now, so I'm back involved. I've been involved with AFC Liverpool since we first started in 2008.
Excellent.
I don't know if you know the story of AFC Liverpool, but...
I know a little bit about it, but if you want to sort of give us an overview and enlighten us what happened with the formation of the club.
Just very quickly, we were found as a football club mainly of Liverpool supporters, although we embrace everybody now. That was against, if you remember, the Premier League were talking of having a 38th game that was going to be played abroad. For people who can't afford to go to Anfield anymore, priced out of Premier League football. So we wanted to give an option of a team that played in all red and played You'll Never Walk Alone and one thing and another. So that's how we started. And basically, that's how we remain. Part of our original board broke away to form City of Liverpool FC because they wanted to be more like FC United and be a protest club, which the majority of us never were. So that's basically where we started and where we're at. Hopefully, we will have our planning permission for our own ground within hopefully the next 12 months. We're still waiting for Liverpool City Council. So until then, we are happily sharing with Marine, and things are looking good.
Excellent. So we'll get on to the Marine Travel Arena shortly.
Yes, indeed.
But about AFC Liverpool, so I've done a bit of digging online.
Yes.
So according to the Wikipedia page for the club, the AFC and AFC Liverpool stands for Affordable Football Club Liverpool.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
It is Affordable Football.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And alongside that,
go on.
Go on.
No, sorry, Johnny, go on.
Oh no, I was just going to say, alongside that, does the club have a nickname, or is that it?
Well, really, a nickname that's grown really is just the Little Reds. Although we're not attached to Liverpool Football Club at all, we do have quite a few of our members who are attached to Liverpool. And of course, Liverpool can't help us in any way or whatever. But we have become either the non-league Reds or the Little Reds.
Oh, excellent. And I know it's only a short history, yes. 2008, that's right. Am I right in thinking?
Right.
But is there anything interesting in that short history that's happened to the club that might stick out to some of our fans?
Well,
big matches.
I don't know whether it would interest Bury supporters or supporters in Manchester. But I think my own personal highlight, and I think the highlight for many, was when we beat Everton in the Liverpool Senior Cup. Even though it was only Everton's under 23 team, we beat them. I think 2011, beat them 4-3 from 3-1 down. So yeah, we are really in a state of flux, in as much that we've never had our own home. We started sharing with Prescott Cables, who were excellent for us, and now Marine. Until we get our own ground, we are very much, paddling our own water. We're waiting to get our own ground. So that's when we would look to start moving up the league.
I mean, that's a situation I can reflect on. It's limiting for the football club, isn't it? It's limiting not having your own base. You can't expand. You can't do the things that you want to do. And we are fortunate enough that everybody's managed to crack their heads together, and we're back at Gig Lane now.
I remember last year.
We hope you get that planning.
I remember our first game last year at the MTA, and I was talking to, I think it was your vice chairman at the time, and we had a smashing chat. And I couldn't get around the concept of a team that had a football team and a team that didn't have a ground to the other way around. And I just couldn't get my head around, well, what's the problem? And of course, as always, it's human beings that are the problem most of the time.
Yeah, many of us couldn't get our heads around it, but thankfully everyone bashed their heads together, and now we're moving in the right direction. And I hope that the planning permission comes through for your ground soon, so you guys can get motoring as well.
Good.
Definitely. Now, in your short history, has there been any notable players that have gone on to do bigger things? I won't say better, but bigger things. Yeah. I've seen a couple, and you share a couple.
You throw some at me.
There's been a couple that, when I've clicked through, played for Burscough as well. I'm just going back through the list, and Skelmersdale as well. So I'm currently on George Donnelly, who very fans should know. He played for Rochdale.
George. Yes. We've had.
But are there any that stick out to you?
For me, we've had a chap who went and played for Rochdale, and his name, I can't remember. It's Phil Kingara, who was actually, we played the old Rochdale Town at their ground in about 2008, and he scored a hat-trick. And there was someone there from Rochdale watching the game who offered him a trial. And he went, and they gave him a 12-month contract, and he only played about half a dozen games before he ended up back. He went back home to Africa somewhere. But we mainly, what we love is that we get quite a few players from the various, like yourselves probably, from the various academies, and we get players who've been rejected as an 18-year-old who will come to us, and we can move them on and move them up. There's a young lad who's now playing in Blackpool's first team, who came through our youth cup team 2 years ago. Unfortunately, Southport signed him on a dual contract, but then did a bit of a dirty. When he signed to Southport, he ended up being signed by Blackpool for £20,000 in the summer, and we didn't get any payback on the back of it. But of course, that's what happens, and that's what we like. We like the development side, which is very much where the team is at the moment, due to the fact of some issues with Skelmersdale in the summer, which I won't go into. We've had to have a completely new team almost, and it is a young team. So with that comes the inconsistencies, but also with that, we do get some really good results, but they like to test themselves, and we're not fooling ourselves that Saturday is going to be probably the biggest test that we can have of the season. So we are looking forward to it, as I'm sure you are.
Excellent. Well, you mentioned the consistency in the season as it's going, and we're roughly about halfway through. You're mid-table, 10 wins on the card, and 12 defeats. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. Can you see it kicking on for the second half of the season as the team starts to settle
our
a little
young
bit?
team gets more experience. I mean, we played Wythenshawe a fortnight ago and beat them 2-1 and really played well, and it was well deserved in the end. And some of those young lads became men that night. But I think, had you offered us mid-table at the beginning of the season, we would have taken it, because we lost the heart of the first team. But the good thing is that our progression through the under-18s and under-21s, we are using more players from those teams that shows that you can progress through the club. And that in itself shows that the club is on a good setting. So if we can get another 10 wins, I'd be thrilled.
Definitely.
And
anyone can beat anyone on the day in this league.
Absolutely. I know people think it's a level 9 and this, that and the other, but as you know, some of the results, you just couldn't, where did that one come from? And you look now at Skelmersdale and Burscough, and they're starting to get a bit of a run together. Anyone can beat anyone.
Yeah, definitely. Now, so the show is called Play and Play, so I better ask some questions about our upcoming match day. Tell us more about match day. Tell us more about the Marine Travel Arena. What fans can
this coming Saturday afternoon is a bit different, isn't it? Because we are expecting our record home gate, as I think most teams do when Bury come visiting. We, unlike a lot of clubs, decided that we would just charge our normal prices. I don't think it's fair that, a lot of clubs start charging £10 when they always charge £6. We made that decision that we would give everyone the opportunity of getting in at our normal price. The MTA, the Marine Travel Arena, can actually hold 2,300. The largest crowd that Marine have had this year is 1,500. That was on Boxing Day. As it stands at the moment, and I was checking earlier on today, I think at the moment with our season tickets and the online sales and what we expect, our record home gate, which was 605, I think we've already met that figure, more or less. So with sales on the day, which of course it's not an all-ticket game, people who decide on Saturday they fancy coming to the game can pay on the gate, but they will have to pay £10 and £5 concession, and they'll be able to pay that either cash or by card.
There we go.
At the MTA, there's a very good clubhouse. There's a bistro. You'll be able to get food there. We've got the tea bars are there. We've got Northern Premier League facilities. And within Crosby itself, on College Road, where the ground is placed, there are lots of venues for food and one thing and another. So the facilities are excellent, and I'm sure the Bury supporters will enjoy their day out, as indeed they did last year. And it was a lovely atmosphere last year, and I hope that remains the same.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It was a good day last time we visited. So what sort of game are you expecting on Saturday?
We can sit and defend as such. We're not that good. What I think we will do is, I think we'll have a go. We'll have a look and see. They played Wythenshawe the other week, and they gave a little bit too much respect to start with, and then all of a sudden they thought, well, actually, we can get a bit of the ball and this, that, and the other. I think probably like yourselves and many clubs in the northwest counties, we've suffered at the hands of referees. I'm sure most teams have, and I think probably one of our better players is going to be suspended on Saturday. So we'll probably have a new right back, and I do believe that we have signed. What's his name? Lightfoot, Ben Lightfoot from Scam, who used to But yes, he's. I think he's come back to us, and I think he's eligible to play on Saturday. So
and a lot of our players, we've got pretty much a brand new squad, and most of them are from down your way. Our captain lives 5 minutes away from your ground. He's contemplating walking there on Saturday. But are there any of our players that...
Yeah, because I remember he played at Marine, didn't he?
Tom Moore, yeah.
Yeah, and he's loved it. And there will be some Marine supporters there on Saturday. Because we've obviously used their booking system. So we do have quite a few Marine supporters who don't travel to Marine, who come and watch us. So he'll see some familiar faces anyway, so be good.
Yeah, definitely. Excellent. Well, I'm sure Tom's really looking forward to it.
I know.
As are we all. He was elated on Boxing Day. He scored twice. But heading into the game, is there anything, I'll ask you, the one last question I'll ask, I'm not going to ask you for a score prediction. I'm going to pack it in. I've done it in the first 3 episodes, but nobody likes answering it. It's not a good question. What's the one thing that you'd say to anyone who's been to support the local non-league side?
Watching Premier League football,
come along
we
and
all
give it a go.
I find it so frustrating. I just find now, of course, I'm a 72-year-old now, so I'd go back to the 1960s watching football. The days when you could talk to supporters, the days when there was a friendly atmosphere. There's always a friendly atmosphere, and there'll be a bit of banter flying around. But I just think our matchday experience is one of fun, laughter, football like it used to be played. Hopefully plenty of goals. Hopefully not too many in our net. But if we get the same result as last year, we'll be very happy, and I'll be very surprised.
I'd like to say a huge thank you to Alan for agreeing to come on and talk to me today, even though I'm full of a cold and I sound like this. If you're going to the game, remember you can pay cash or card on the gate on Saturday, and it's £10. Parking is a bit of a nightmare, so make sure you look at the information page on buryfc.co.uk. All the information will be on there. The club shop has been a roaring success at the ground, and I think it's going to be something that we continue to do for the foreseeable future. So if you need any Shakers gear and you can't wait for delivery from Hope and Glory, pop down there, see what they've got. We'll post the opening hours on social media once again. And that's it for now. I'll see you on Merseyside, and hopefully I'll be better for the game. See you then. Goodbye.